All right, hey, good morning, everyone. Just want to introduce you to kind of our new lesson here. Here I've got some our primary colors. I start out with blue, red, yellow, got some white, and eventually we're going to mix all of our colors kind of together in order to make a nice, cool design that eventually comes out looking a little bit like this. All right, but let's get you to that first spot. All right, so what I did was I just kind of found a template online for lips, and the first thing I kind of did was I just did kind of a little sketch. I'm going to keep my paints there so you guys can see kind of what I'm mixing up. All right, I think that's a little better there for you. What I did was I just took the red. That color up there is kind of a magenta, which I don't know if we're going to use today, but we might. All right. What I'm doing is just using a flat brush. All right. We're going to use a flat brush today. And then the other brush we're going to use is just kind of a fine point, kind of a hard bristle, fine point filbert brush. All right. So those two. All right. So this lesson is actually dedicated to Cinnamon Cooney. All right, she is the art Sherpa online, and she's my wife and I follow her a lot, and we follow her around. So I gotta give a little credit where credit's due. All right, so I have my lip template. I drew it out with just a simple pencil. All right, remember how we all did lips earlier in the year, drawing them for our cartoon characters? Well, this one's just going to be the same way, but they're just a little bit bigger. Make your little Cupid's bow, and then create your mouth. It just kind of shapes down, and then it bows up and over and down. And then this one is just kind of a slight bow, just very much like a bow and arrow, like a strong bow. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of water, make my little palette here. All right, so I have a little bit of water in here. I'm just going to get a little bit of red. Now this is cadmium red. All right, you're probably going to have a little brighter red. And all I'm going to do is just start on kind of the corner of the lips here. And I'm just going to work my way down. Don't worry about getting it perfect, all right, because this is kind of a really easy, almost an abstract piece of art, okay? Now, we're going to mix our colors, all right? Our two colors that we're going to mix are the yellow and the red, which give us this cool looking orange, okay? So about half and half of each, and we ought to have this cool looking orange color. And that's just going to go. So we're going to go red, orange, yellow, because remember, yellow is the center of the spectrum. So I'm going to start over here on the edge because I still want kind of a reddish orange to go on. So about in the middle, right here, between my red and my yellow is eventually going to go in the middle because my yellow is the highest point of that spectrum. All right. It's really where everything goes down from. So I have my orange, did my orange here, okay? Now I'm going to go back, I'm going to go wash off my brush, okay? So really what we're doing is we're creating a color wheel, and we're also doing kind of a cool painting too, thanks to Cinnamon Cooney. So next thing we're just going to do is a little bit of yellow, all right? Make sure my brush is clean. I don't want a whole lot of other colors on it. If I want, I could go back and I could get another brush, but a lot of you will have just one or two brushes at your desk. So all I'm going to do is take my yellow right down the middle, just like that. Maybe make it a little whiter here, a little whiter here in the middle. All right, make sure I get a good yellow. So I've got that good yellow going on right there. We want to eventually blend these colors together, but there's a middle color in there, okay? There's what we call an analogous color, all right? And we're going to get into that probably later on in the semester. We're going to do paintings that have to deal with analogous colors, colors that sit next to each other on the spectrum, okay? So the next color, we're moving on down. So we have kind of a blue that sits here, but between blue and yellow, we give ourselves a green. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of yellow up on here. And you can see I kind of already have my green mixed up. So it's about half and half, like that. A little bit of blue. All right, don't get too much. Blue seems to overtake it sometimes, and it makes it look like a, I don't know, almost, I like to call it a barf green. All right, like a movie barf kind of green. All right, so try to get half and half there. I like to get this kind of a field green, or we get like almost a sap green. There's actually a paint out there called sap green that you can get, and it's really easy. You just go right from there and just use sap green on a lot of your pictures. So just going to find that middle ground because my next one is blue, and then indigo, and then violet. Okay, it's our rainbow. That's exactly what we're creating. We're creating rainbow lips. Okay. So here's the green, and that's going to start up. I'm going to pause, take a break. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so this next portion we're going to go into the blues. All right, this blue, it's kind of like a cobalt blue, not quite as dark as a navy blue. I'm just going to go a little faster here right now for you. Next color we're going to work on, just do a little stripe there. Next color we're going to work on is purple. I'm going to mix the red and the blue together, about half and half mix. All right, we're not going to do indigos, so don't worry about indigos right now. But we are going to lighten up our purple a little bit. All right, so just mixing it there, half and half again. And the purple's almost going to blend in with that side there. So you can kind of see that it just hangs out there. We're going to totally fix that. And this is the early stages of painting. Don't worry about it. So moving along here, here's a little bit of white. I'm going to add to it just to lighten it up. If you get too much white, it makes kind of a lavender color, which lavender is good if you're making clouds and background for mountains, but not what we're doing. Just kind of this, it's an op art. This is more of a modern art piece that you would see. And then finally, we're going to go and find all those what we call analogous colors. Sometimes they're called secondary colors. Other ones they're called tertiary colors. There's a lot of different names, but right now we're going to focus on those colors that are in between. So we've got kind of the reddish orange, because the red is the hotter side of the warmer side of the spectrum. All right, just moving through that. It's just a whole bunch of red and a little bit of orange. Whole bunch of red, a little bit of orange. Yeah, we're moving along there. Just getting the bottom part of the lip. There we go. Sorry you can't see my palette too well, but you kind of get the gist. A little bit of red, whole bunch of red, a little bit of orange. All right, we're going to move on down the spectrum there. We're going to do kind of a yellow-orange. After we get this last little bit, there we go, just lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to wash out my brush, and then we're going to move on to the next side of the spectrum. So the next one, we're just going to keep going on down. Grab a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow. A little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow. We don't want to get too far onto that side of that yellow spectrum because we're still closer to the orange spectrum. So it's kind of an orange yellow. All right, because the orange is the warmer color. An orangish yellow. There we go. Moving on down there. Gotta start rounding out those lips. Think about the shape, because not only are we doing a color wheel, we're making a picture. So start thinking about that shape. All right, moving on into the yellow green, because the green is that higher side of that spectrum. So it's almost like a grass green. I love this color. This color is like the best color to use on trees, doing highlights, doing hillsides. You're going to use this color a lot. It's going to make your paintings pop. All right, this is that yellow green. It's like a grass green. It's like that fresh cut grass. Like, it's nice. It's good. So next color, we got kind of a greenish blue. All right, like that. Like I was talking about that puke green earlier. All right, don't get that color. That's like an exorcist color kind of green. This is more like this is that ocean, almost kind of aquamarine looking color. This is really good when you want to start doing. When we work on waves, oh yeah, we are going to work on waves. And And it makes those waves just really, that sunlight, as that tube starts to hollow out, that's what that wave looks like. The sunlight just shining through those waves, making those cool color wavelengths. And then finally, we're going to almost hit that color. It's going to go a little light on me because I'm trying to get right in between that blue and that purple. So if you have a little trouble getting on this indigo color, just think a little bit more blue and not so much purple. All right. And then just, man, a little, like a sliver of white can change that whole color. So be careful. All right. If you find yourself getting in trouble with those, all right. So that's about what we got right now. We're going to move on to the next section, and it's going to get even better. So hang on. Peace.